Hey guys, how's everybody doing? It's early Saturday morning, it's after midnight, and me and my husband were out late. We went to Walmart real quick to get some groceries, um, and try and avoid all the crowds. So I hope everybody's doing well. I had an idea today. I was thinking about goals. Actually, I wasn't thinking about goals, that's not the truth. Um, I saw recently um, Taisha's. I don't remember if it was a live stream or I was watching one of her videos. I think it was a live stream. And also one of Dee Dee's Downsizing Divas. And they both touched on making goals and setting goals. And I was watching YouTube before we left, and a content creator that does all Shein and Temu clothes. One of her, I didn't know her. I'd never seen her before. Um, one of her episodes popped in on the screen, and it was of these amazing evening gowns and maxi dresses, and it was just a fluke that it showed up, and I saw it and it said Shein, and I thought, no way, it can't be that Shein. So of course I sat there and watched the video, and I was floored to see these amazing gowns from starting at $39 all the way up to like under 100, I think was the most expensive one that she had. And she tried on each one of them. And this is a young girl in her 20s, and, nice body, clearly doesn't have a weight issue. And she tried on all these gowns, and they were beautiful. And she did reviews of them. And so I got curious, and because I don't know much about these places, honestly, you guys see me in my videos looking like a homeless person. The way I dress, I just, and no disrespect to them, because I was almost homeless and my husband was homeless at one point. So it's not intended to be a derogatory remark. It's just you see me dress, and you know, vanity isn't my number one priority when I do these videos. What you see is what you get. And if I'm in a funky t-shirt and my hair looks like holy cow, and I just woke up and my makeup's from last night, you've seen those videos and you know I'll do those. So anyway, I don't shop. I'm on this weight journey, this health journey. But tonight, I'm not going to talk about the health part of it. I want to be thin. I want to be skinny. I'm not talking about anorexic, but I want to be thin. I want to be at the lowest end of my weight range. And that's just the truth. It's what I want. I want to be healthy, absolutely. And the GLP-1 has given me so much support in the area of health. I'm feeling so much better overall. Do I have days where I still have pain and don't feel good? Of course. And there's been quite a few this week. But now we're talking about goals. So I'm not saying what my goal weight is, because even though it's not completely trusted by me that I'll ever get to that weight, I do have faith that if I'm going to get to that weight, it's going to happen this time around with the GLP-1s. And of course, I'm going to be staying on this medication for as long as they're available for the rest of my life, whichever lasts longer, I suppose. And so back to goals. I had a goal that when I got to my goal weight, I wanted to get a professional picture with my husband, Luis. You might know him as Lou. And of course, he has a lot of health problems, and every day is touch and go. So, that's a little scary. We're definitely feeling our mortality in this household. However, on a positive note, when I get to my goal weight, my final end weight, right before it turns into maintenance, I want to get a professional picture taken of me and my husband with us all done up. Now, I've always had that in mind, even before I started GLP-1s, that if I ever got to that, that's what I'd like to do. We have a beautiful wedding picture that my friend caught of us, and I love it and I adore it. But we had a very budget friendly wedding, which I wouldn't trade for the world because we had fun. It was stress free, it was planned out, it was intimate, and it felt tasteful. And I'm very proud of it. And it's beautiful. And we actually got married outside. Um, Nevertheless, I wore what I thought was an appropriate dress that I got at Ross for $17. Yes, you heard that right. I was 216 pounds when I got married, which is a lot smaller than what I am now and a lot smaller than what I started at when I started the GLP-1. And so I had this dress on, and I think I looked really good, and I'm proud of that picture because I had just lost a ton of weight, and I had done it without the help of a GLP-1. And I had worked very hard to get there, and I planned on continuing to get smaller. My plan just didn't come to fruition, and so I ended up gaining a lot of weight. Um, First, I was being told it was happy weight, but it wasn't making me happy, and there was a lot of stress early on in our marriage because of circumstances outside of our control. And me being a stress eater, an emotional eater, um, a food addict, and someone who's trained their brain to react to every aspect of life by grabbing for food to try and numb out or distract myself. My old habits kicked in like that, and I was on the upscale, not in a good way. And it ultimately led me to being the biggest I had ever been in my entire life, which was crossing the 280 mark, which was already horrific for me. So crossing over into 300, let alone 346, that was just unfathomable. And it was living a nightmare every day for years. And it was having nightmares every day for years that triggered me to resort back to old behavior. So, with that being said, I want to be thin. I want to be skinny. I want to be a hot 54 or 55-year-old or 56-year-old, however long it takes to reach my goal weight. And I want to rock my older age. So I always had in mind that if I reached that goal, I would get this professional picture with my husband. And I kind of played between what kind of picture would that be? Would it be me being kind of casual with like a nice pair of jeans, a nice pair of Ked sneakers, and a really crisp cotton white shirt, and maybe my husband would kind of be um, dressed in a similar attire, but it would be taken professionally. My hair would be nice, my makeup, but it'd still be casual? Or would it be like an evening gown? Or what would it be? So, anyway, getting back to the YouTube video that I watched with Shein, it got me thinking, if they have those kind of gowns at those prices, do they also by chance sell wedding gowns? Like formal, beautiful magazine wedding gowns? Knockoffs, obviously. And sure as shit, they do. I went in and I Googled it, and they have wedding gowns for like ridiculously cheap when you are given the grand scheme of what wedding gowns generally cost. So under 100, under 200, that kind of thing. So I started thinking and I thought, that's what I want. When I reach my goal weight, I'm going to get a Shein wedding gown, and I'm going to get my hair done and my makeup done professionally, and we're going to have a photographer, and my husband and I are going to dress in nice wedding attire, and we're going to have a professional picture taken that I can hang. Hoping, I'm thinking right behind the tree there's a wall and there's no picture up there. That's where I want to hang it. Not over the fireplace. I know that would be kind of like the obvious, but I don't want it there. I want it next to the TV, behind the fireplace, right on that wall. A nice professional picture of me and my husband. And maybe my husband always talks about renewing our vows. So maybe we'll even do that, and we'll do the whole thing. Just a little tiny thing, have an officiant, pick a nice place, and to have our pictures taken, renew our vows, and get a professional picture taken. That's my goal when I reach my final end goal weight. Now, that being said, which I'm just excited because it's like, that's what I'm going to do. It's don't have to think about it anymore. That's what I'm going to do. One thing out of the way, off the list. That being said, they were talking about goals, they being Taisha and Simply Taisha and Downsizing Diva, Dee. And, I think some of you guys already do this, but maybe for some people that are coming in new and maybe they haven't thought about this, I like to do little goals along the way. Like, instead of focusing on how much weight I've lost, excuse me, if I like to focus on, let me do one full week, let me make it Monday through Sunday of staying on plan with my eating and any exercise regimen that I've planned out for myself. And I'll reward myself with something like getting my nails done, maybe getting a pedicure, getting a favorite magazine that's ridiculously expensive. If you look at the price of the magazines on your way checking out, I love to look at houses and interior design. So those magazines generally cost about $15, which is just nuts. Sometimes they even cost more. And so I'll do like 2 weeks on track, and I'll just do something little that I like for myself. But just these little tiny goals along the way. If I can just remember to do this when this happens to make it more positive, or if I can just stay on the trail for the way that I want to for this long a period of time. If I can stay off of the scale for 1 week, let me stay off for 1 week. If I can work it on it to 2 weeks, or whatever your personal goal is, make these little tiny special reward things that you can look forward to. Now, we're not rich, and the The stuff you see in the back, the Christmas stuff, that's it. And me and my husband, we're not big into gifts. I just wanted something cozy for the living room for Christmas because it puts me in a good mood and I really enjoy it at night after a long day at work to just kind of relax and look at it. A lot of times I don't even have the TV on, and if I do have the TV on, a lot of the time this is what I'm actually having. I don't know if you could see it, but I have it on the screensaver so that it looks like a picture and it changes every 10 seconds. And that's the extent. Whoops. That's the extent. Let me see if I can put this back in. Okay. Yeah. That is the extent. Ooh, we're leaning. Sorry, folks. Tried to do this so that you wouldn't be so much shaking like I normally do. Have trouble staying still. Sorry, guys. My husband gave me this phone holder, and it's clipped to the table so that I could have a why does this look upside down? Oh, it is. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just butterfingers now. I'm trying to clip it back in so that it's not so Okay. Think I'm a leaning tower of Pisa tonight, or I should say early this morning. Okay. Think I got it for the most part. Hello. Anyway, we're not rich, and pedicures are expensive, manicures are expensive. I usually do my own, to be honest, but I do enjoy a good pedicure. But I haven't had one in a very long time. But, within balance of what our finances are, I just like to suggest that these little things, these little guilty pleasures, make those the little rewards for when you reach those goals for yourself. Not big goals. If I walk 3 times today not 3 times today, I'm sorry, 3 times this week for a minimum of 30 minutes a day, then at the end of the week, I'm going to do this for myself, or I'm going to treat myself to this. And so that's my suggestion. I actually find that I actually do enjoy working towards that, and I do enjoy that moment of giving into that guilty pleasure, whatever it may be, and just the payoff. Obviously, the payoff is how you feel, it's how you look, it's how you move, it's your health. But it doesn't hurt to have a little guilty pleasure as a little goal along the way. So that's my suggestion. I hope you found value in this little video, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, that you are safe, and that you're enjoying your journey on the GLP-1. And for those of you who are noticing that things are very different in this video, I'm not making promises that they'll all be like this, but I got to thinking, how can I really put some more effort into this and make it better and more enjoyable and offer something that might be helpful to someone else if I just put a little more thought into it. I'm a lazy person. I don't make any promises. I'd rather underpromise and overdeliver. But I'm not a DD. Bless her. I love her, and she is helping me along the way. And Joe and JC and Harjarine and Simply Taisha, who I started with, phenomenal content creators, and they offer phenomenal amount of value, and I enjoy them so much. And Pam, I'm sorry, don't know her YouTube channel off the top of my head, and I don't have anything in front of me. And gosh, there's a few people, but I'm not them, and I don't know how to edit, as you can see from that goofy drop with the phone, because it's not being edited out. But I'm going to give what I can when I can, and this is what I have for tonight. And no, I'm not a multiple personality disorder, just multiple moods. So what you see is what you get, but I am going to make an intentional effort to put more energy, a little bit more thought, and make this just a little bit better when I do these videos so that it's easier to watch, and maybe there's something I can offer from my point of view that might be helpful to you. And I think that's it. So again, happy weekend. Be safe. Stay warm if you're in a cold climate. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.